Hello everybody, welcome back to Golf Cart Garage. I am Tim. We come here twice a week, in case you didn't know that, in case anybody's new. We talk about golf cart things. Got people showing up already. Gene Hansen, let's see, maybe a swag day. I'll say something about that in a minute, Gene, but I guess I'll say it in a minute. Yeah. Hi Tim and Golf Cart friends, Easy Mike, Kurt, ready to rumble, Gary England, I'm in already. Good, Gary, thank you for showing up. Ricky Smith, what's up, dudes? Thank y'all for being here. Let me look on Facebook. Randy Rizzo, what's up, Randy? Wiz and PA, hello from Hershey, Pennsylvania. What's up, Wiz? Got all kinds of people showing up in the room today. Good. Facebook's a little slow. Never understood that. All right, let me run some social media stuff. Show you the links for social media. If you'd like to follow us on any other platform besides Facebook and YouTube, you're welcome to. You can follow us anywhere you would like. Obviously, we'd like you to follow us on Facebook and YouTube also. And like and subscribe if you like this content. Bruce, what's up, Bruce? Quan, what's up, man? Reggie watching tech, I made it. Reggie, did you know, were you here when we featured your cart, man? Did you miss that episode? I think you had left the room. We featured your cart. Pictures and everything. Russell Weidman. Tomlin problem. Oh, Russell. That's a big question there. We'll see if we can what we can do for you. Golf Cart Garage is posting. Thanks to everyone joining us. Joe, what's up, Joe? Keith from Nashville. Thank y'all very much for showing up. On Facebook, we got Catherine O'Brien Freeman. Thank you for showing up. So we are getting some people. This is Tuesday the 25th. We are live right now. We're live on Facebook and YouTube. This is episode 137, 137 times that we've done this. Isn't that amazing? Oh, I think I told y'all something about, I was looking for a lawnmower and my mom jumped in the room and said, come get my lawnmower. See, my mom finally got a crew to do her yard. So she doesn't have to do it anymore. She's been doing her yard all this time, up until just recently, you know, when she hurt herself and everything. So she finally got people to do her yard for her. So she wanted me to go get her lawnmower. So I did. I went and got her a little lawnmower. And I knew it was going to need some work. So now I got another project going on. Got it running. Everything was fine. Went out to test it. Engaged the blades and goes dead. The blades are locked up. The blade spindles are froze up. So I got 2 new blade spindles coming in from Amazon tomorrow. So we'll see if that solves the problem. Oh, okay, so you did see it, Reggie. Well, I'm glad you saw it. You were stuck on a call, no problem. We do have some Let's See today. I'm waiting to see if the person's in the room that we're going to feature today, Quan, but we do. We have some Let's See going on today. By the way, we've decided that Let's See, you know, it's Let's See some carts, but it doesn't have to be carts. It can be anything to do with carts, like some kind of accessory. Like if you would just want to show off your stereo in your cart, or you made something, or you fabricated something, and that's what we have for today. And it is from Craig. I don't know if you're in the room, Craig, but you need to be, because I'm going to feature. Craig has some fabricated things that he and his neighbor, which is a welder, I believe he told me, they got together and they fabricated something, and I think it's good. I think it's a good job. I think it's a good fabrication. So I'm going to show it today, whenever we get around to that. Okay. We're going to get started with the regular questions since the garage is now open. Rock Dog, what's up, man? Question number 1. I have a 2017 Club Car Precedent gas EFI, and I'm having a pressure issue, I believe, but occasionally I will have to manually turn the flywheel or clutch to get the car to start back up. And this week I have been having to manually turn it more often than normal. Any idea what causes this? So if what you're telling me is that you're having to move the motor, because when you turn the clutch, you actually move the piston into a different position. When you turn it, you put it into a different position. And you're having to do that in order to get it to crank. There's a couple of things that pop up that I've seen in my shop. I've seen brushes in the starter, because when you do that, it actually might be changing the position of the starter a little bit, you know, or does it? No, well, I guess it doesn't. So you might be just taking it off of the compression stroke. So what can cause that? Low battery can cause that, or weak battery. You might consider going to a higher amp hour battery than what's in the cart right now. See if that does anything, see if that helps you. That could cause it. A loose cable on your battery could cause that too. Let's see, 𝗪𝗂𝗲𝗀𝘃. What's up, Larry? Thank you for joining us, man, in YouTube. Let's see where we're at. Number 2. Okay, number 2. Hello, I just purchased and installed a Madjax 4-inch lift on a 2013 Club Car Precedent from you guys. The rear is too high with the heavy-duty springs. Is there a way to get the rear smaller block separate? I need to level it out. I looked up our Madjax, and the 4 is the shortest one that we have. So you got a few choices you could do. A lot of people are real particular about that, you know, not being at the right angle, and you know, they make that for lifted trucks, you know, automobiles, you know, a lot of people are real particular about how their trucks sit, so they have leveling kits to level it out. So in your case, you could consider taking leaves out of your heavy duty leaf spring, if that's possible. Look at your leaf spring and see if you can see if there's removable. Do you really need all that stiffness, or can you remove one, because that'll make it a little bit shorter in the back? Or you could look into something. There's a block plate for the front end of a club car. I don't know if it will work with the Madjax lift kit or not. You could consider raising the front a little bit to level it out. That's really, or you could take your rear blocks and shave them down. Take them to a machine shop and have them shave an inch or so off of it, and see if that would help you. But I don't know of a shorter rear lift for a Madjax lift kit than the 4 that you already have. Is my point. So you might have to you know, do a little fabricating on the blocks that you have. Michael Waters, what's up? Let's see, our reps from Madjax are in the warehouse today and loving the show. Tim, everyone give our boss Gearhead a like and a thumbs up. Well, thank you. And hello, Madjax representatives. Is what I just said about the 4-inch lift kit true, Dave and Madjax representatives? I mean, since they're there, I want to make sure that what I said was correct. I couldn't find anything shorter than the 4s for a lift kit for Precedent. Michael Waters just stopping in to listen for a minute. That's cool, Michael. That's fine. Stay as long as you would like. Let's see. Kevin Smith. I have a 2007 battery EZGO. It trips out after a while. It has a new curves controller and solenoid and batteries. What makes this happen? What do you mean it trips out after riding for a while, Kevin? And is it lifted? And is it the stock controller? That would be my questions. Is it lifted, and is it the stock controller in a 2007 battery EZGO? Because we're probably talking about a 36-volt EZGO. So that's could be a PDS, 36-volt PDS. And like I've said before, 36-volt PDS do not like taller tires. They don't like them. Number 3, I have a 2017 Precedent 48, and seems slower than my old EZGO 36. That's possible. There's a 250 amp DC motor controller installed now. What amp controller do I need for it to be programmed? You got a 2017 Precedent. It can be programmed now. It's just you can have it reprogrammed now for a little more speed from Club Car. That's a programmable controller that's in there. So you can speed that one up. You don't need, or you could buy a whole new replacement and do it yourself. You know, if that's what you're asking, you could buy a new 𝗏𝗏𝗏 controller for that car, or you could buy an Ultrax controller, and then you could do the programming yourself. Let's see, Lloyd Lou. Did you hear me? I said let's see. I did it again. Lloyd Lou, turning in here, hot California. What's up, Lloyd Lou? Yep, it's hot here too. Kevin Smith says, yes, it's lifted and rebuilt controller. Well, I've had good luck with rebuilt controllers, and I've had not so good luck with rebuilt controllers, so I'm not going to say that that's what it is, but it could be. If it's the stock controller, then, and it's just a rebuilt stock controller, and your car's lifted, it'd probably be a good idea to change it. And I wouldn't doubt it if your problem goes away, if your tripping out issue goes away, because if you've got good batteries, there's really nothing else on that car, on that electrical system that will trip out except for the controller, if it's under too much of a strain when taller tires put it that way. Whiz in PA, 1994 Yamaha G9. Too much oil put in it and was blowing smoke. Drained oil, refilled with proper amount. Open the air cleaner box and clean box air filter. Still blowing a little smoke. I'd say keep running it, Whiz. If you took some oil out, it may take a while for everything to get back in place. Is your cart lifted, by the way? Your 94 G9, is it lifted? That's what I'd like to know. Is that why you had to take some oil out? Because I've heard people that have lifted gas Yamaha G9s, and it changes the angle of the motor, and therefore it changes the amount of oil in a certain area in the motor, and they've had to remove some. Is that what happened to you? Yes, it's lifted. All right, well, so that's very likely why you had to take some oil out, or how it got too much oil put in it to begin with, because you have to put a little bit less oil if it changes the angle of the motor too much, you know, depending on which lift kit you put in there. Craig, I'm glad you're here. Glad you're here. I'm going to tell you why. It's because we changed a little thing in the Let's See thing as of today. I made an executive decision and changed the Let's See format. Doesn't have to be carts. It can be fabricated parts. So we are going to feature you. So stay around so you can see it. I want to make sure everybody sees it. So I tell them now in the beginning, because a couple of times I wasn't sure the people were still in the room, and I'm worried that they didn't get to see whatever I was featuring. So I'm telling them in the beginning now whenever they show up in the room, so that way they'll be sure and stay around. So you showed up on a good day, Craig. I almost did it. I have a 2003. This is Chris Benazir. Benazir or Bonanza? Chris Bonanza. I think it's Bonanza. All right, Chris. Thank you for stopping by first, by the way. I have a 2003 48-volt club car. I changed the tire, and after I put it back on the ground, nothing works. I've changed the potentiometer and the solenoid. The batteries say they have 49 volts. The solenoid clicks when I hit the gas. I changed the controller. It did nothing, so I put the old controller back on. The motor was tested and it works. Nothing 48 will run. The controller says it's a direct replacement, but has an extra A2 port and a 4-pin plug. All right, I got the name, Chris Bonanza. Okay, cool. I don't know why I like doing that. I like taking a stab at people's names. The A2 port is the old-timey thing that they used to have. You don't need to use it, by the way. You don't have to use the A2 port. And the 4-pin plug that you're talking about is just because that controller is programmable for different throttle types. And so that's not used either unless you're trying to reprogram it. If it was a direct replacement, it should have come programmed for your car. Now, as far as the symptoms, you said the solenoid clicks when I hit the gas. When I hit the gas, I changed the controller, it did nothing, so I put the old controller back on. If your solenoid is clicking, I've said this before, if your solenoid is clicking, then you know that your key switch works, you know that your, what do you got? What was your potentiometer on yours? 2003, so you got an MCOR. So you know that your MCOR is working. You know that all your wires that are going to the solenoid is getting activated with battery pack voltage and is activating. That's what you know when your solenoid clicks. If you're confident that your solenoid is good and it's clicking, then you know you're getting power all the way to your controller. Okay, your controller's getting power. If your car is not working at that point, there's only really two things behind the controller. It could be controller itself or motor. All right, but you tested your motor. So how did you mess up your controller by changing a tire? Would be my question. Change the tire, and after I put it back on the ground, nothing works. 2003 48-volt club car. Okay, Chris, do you have a run tow switch under the seat on your 2003 48-volt? Do you have a run tow switch under the seat? I'll come back and check on you in a minute. Let me get back over to Facebook here. Car Garage says, 𝗪𝗲𝗃𝗲𝗀 has a low pro lift for Precedent. It's a 2-inch spindle item, and Jake's has a 3-inch spindle. Well, I knew that Jake's had a 3, and I knew about that one, but he just wants a shorter rear. That's all he wants. So that's what I was thinking. But that's options. 2-inch, and Jake's has a 3-inch. But his rear is higher than his front, is what the deal is, because of heavy duty springs. So he's wanting to level it out. He's wanting to shorten the rear so it will be level. He doesn't really want to change the whole lift kit, and even if he did, it would still be higher in the rear because of his heavy duty springs. That's the way I understood his questions. Overfill and lift cause it to leak a bit out of the vent. Put new fuel filter on the tube, now fixed. Yep, that could be it, Quan. Yep. I've heard a lot of people say that after they're left, I mean, you think about it, if you would take a picture of your engine, the angle of your engine before lift kit on a gas cart, and then put your lift kit on, the angle of the engine changes a little bit, and that's going to cause the oils in the rear end and in the engine to go in places that they don't normally go. So that may or may not cause you an issue, and I've seen a lot of people posting about it on the forums that it does cause issues. No tow run switch. Okay, so you don't have a tow run switch, and what that means is you do not have an IQ system. That means you have a series system, a series electrical system. So there's no way that Club Car can plug into there and do a diagnosis. Also, battery light was flashing. Well, that doesn't make sense. If nothing works, that's battery light. You know, that battery light comes on for a couple of reasons. One of them is low voltage. One of them is an interrupted charge cycle. In other words, if your cart was on charge in your garage and you had a thunderstorm that night while it was charging and the electricity blinked off, when you went out in your garage the next day, that light would be on, telling you that the charge cycle was interrupted and that you didn't get a complete charge cycle. That's one of the reasons. But like I said, another reason is low voltage. So I know you said that you have let's see, 49 volts across the whole pack, but that battery light's making me want to ask you to check your voltage individually with a voltmeter. That's what it's making me want to say first, just to clear that up and see what we can figure out about why that light's coming on. Greg says Madjax makes some very cool stuff. 𝗍𝗍. Well, y'all are kissing up because you'll know the representatives are listening. Okay. Number 4 is where we're at. Bam, number 4. I have an older G2 36 volt cart. I know batteries are weak and it charges, but seems dead when put in drive. Any suggestions? Well, my question would be, how weak is weak? What do you mean it's weak? And what are your voltages on your batteries? And that could explain everything. But I mean, that car's, you know, that car is not a bulldozer. You know, that's a 36 volt G2. You know, it's not a race car. So how weak is weak is what I would want to know. And what are your battery voltages? 𝗏 is debating on buying a Madjax cart or get an old cart with an IQ system like you suggested, and then 𝗏𝘗𝗃𝗍𝗏 it all out. Yeah, that's a good, you know, that's a good choice. That's something to body kits are mean looking, love them. Yep, they're pretty cool looking. Number 5. From Ralph. Don't always have people's names on the question, but this one's from Ralph. Just replaced the MCOR and my cart still does not work. It's a club car with an aftermarket motor and controller and retrofit MCOR. I have 29 volts at the 2 small leads on the solenoid in the rear passenger side. I spoke with the mechanic last week and he said I should have 48 to 50 at those leads with the pedal depressed. Do I need a replacement solenoid? The answer would be no. You don't need a replacement solenoid. You need to figure out why you're only getting 29 volts to the 2 small posts on the existing solenoid, because your mechanic was right. You should be getting full battery pack voltage at the 2 small posts on the solenoid whenever you depress the pedal. For some reason you're only getting 29. I mean we've got to figure that one out first. But no, don't blame the solenoid yet. Okay. Rock Dog, I've got a Madjax light kit on my RX-V. It's the RGB kit from Golf Cart Garage and love it. Cool. That's what I like to hear. I like to get reviews on products that we sell. If anybody, I think I said this on a couple of episodes ago, and I forgot to last time, but any products that we don't sell, feel free to put them in the comments because they're looking at the comments. All this is recorded, so they go back and look at the comments. If there's products that we don't sell that you would like us to sell, or other products that you would like to see more of, brands that you would like to see more of, let us know. You can make a difference. You can make a difference in the future of how we conduct our product line. So let us know if you know of something that's out there that we don't have. We can easily obtain it. I did jump off my neighbor's 48 volt cart and still nothing. His batteries are brand new. I removed my batteries first before I jumped it. What do you mean, Chris? What do you mean you jumped it? Jumped off my neighbor's 48 volt cart and still... Oh, okay. You took your neighbor's 48 volt cart and you jumped cables over to your cart and his batteries are new. Okay, I see. Well, I see what you're saying. And you still got nothing. Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't see how you could have messed up the controller by changing the tire. Maybe there's something obvious, a loose connection somewhere, because you've got the mechanical forward and reverse switch on there too. That's a lot of moving parts there too. See, that's why I was asking you, did you have a run toe switch or not? I was trying to determine if you had the the IQ system, or if you had a series card. Now that we know that you got a series card, I know you've got a mechanical forward and reverse switch that it would not be unusual at all to have to replace it because you got those moving contacts there, and you got a couple of micro switches up there too that could be causing you fits. So you might ought to look in that area on that particular electrical system. Look in that area a little closer. Number 6. This is from Drew. I recently installed a 6-inch lift kit on my 2001 Club Car DS. The hub spindle is different from the suspension I removed from the cart. The new spindle has a 3/4 inch diameter. Can you recommend a spindle nut I can use to secure the wheel hub to the spindle? Russell, give me a second, man. I appreciate you reminding me. I'll get back to you. Give me just a second. Y'all don't let me forget to talk to Russell, please. Okay, what was this? Okay, on your cart, on that Club Car DS, there was a change in the spindle. That's what the deal is. You needed to get one for 1984 to 2003 and a half. That's when they made a change. 84 to 2003 and a half is what you needed. If you didn't get that, that's what you needed to get. There's not going to be too many people that do know about Tomberlin, Russell. There's not going to be too many people that do, unless they're a Tomberlin dealer, or they're just not near as common. So what is your question about your Tomberlin? Go ahead and type it in there, and we'll see. I'll tell you what I think. Number 7. I installed 2 new batteries on the left side of the cart. Then I drove around for 5 minutes, and the cart ran out of power. I tried to put my automatic 36-volt charger onto the cart, and it would not even come on. I used my voltmeter on all batteries, and the new batteries were at 6, but the used ones were at 1. I've never had 4 batteries go bad at the same time. Any suggestions? Yeah, that's not going to work. If you put 2 new batteries in with a bunch of old batteries, that's just not going to work. And you got to have 6 good batteries for a golf cart to run correctly. You got to have 6 good batteries for the charger to work correctly, for the charger to come on. You're going to have a certain amount of voltage, and if those are dropping down to 1 volt, if those really are dropping down to 1 volt and that's accurate, then you may as well just toss them, because it would be almost impossible to get a good battery to show 1 volt. Almost impossible. You'd have to really do something drastic in order to do that. So the fact that they're going down to 1 volt, they're toast. You're going to need to replace those. That's why I never recommend replacing just 1 or 2 batteries if the rest of your batteries are over, I don't know, 3 years old. If they're 3.5, then it could be in the next year you're going to start having trouble with another battery, and by the time you finish, you're going to have a whole mismatched set of batteries in your golf cart. Number 8. I have a 97 Club Car DS electric, recently purchased. I have an issue where when you're accelerating rapidly, flooring it, or climbing an incline, the cart shudders and shakes rapidly and does not maintain the speed. Could this be the speed sensor or throttle controller? Well, my first thought is that it's a battery related issue. It's not speed sensor or throttle controller. It's something to do with one of your batteries, and it's on the verge of dropping out, and that's when it starts making the shake. It starts making the shudder or the shake when that battery is struggling and it's starting to drop out. And as soon as it drops out, your cart's going to plummet. The speed of your cart and the power of your cart's going to plummet down. That's my first thought. me scroll up here for a second. Number 9. (2001) EZGO gas. Runs well, but after a few hours the battery no longer has the proper voltage for the electric starter. What is the battery charging portion I need to replace? Well, it would be the voltage regulator. It's separate, you know, in your car than the starter generator. It's a small device, square device with a hole in it. A bolt goes through it. Got a few wires coming off of it, red, green, and black. It's called a voltage regulator. That would be the first thing that I would be looking at if your battery's not charging. Just to verify, I mean, I don't know if you've done this or not. Crank your car in neutral. First, take a reading before it's cranked, before it's running. Put your voltmeter on your battery. Get you a reference voltage of it just sitting there. Crank your car and then continue to look at your battery. Crank your car in neutral, rev it up, and watch your voltage on your battery. And if the voltage is rising, then your voltage regulator is fine. But if not, it's most likely your voltage regulator. Okay, Russell's posting his issue for his 𝗪𝗏. I can charge the battery fully charged, although they only go to 52 volts and the charger does not cut off. I take the card out less than a mile, and less than a mile it stops, and put the brakes on. Charge the battery fully charged, although they only go to 52 volts. What do you mean by that, Russell? I mean, that sounds normal. 52 volts on a 48 volt car? I mean, is your 𝗪𝗏 a 48 volt car? Would be what I'm asking. So 52 sounds fine if that's off the charger. Not cut off. The card out in less than a mile, it stops, like I put the brakes on. Sounds like you have something shutting down. Does a 𝗪𝗏 have an electric brake, or does it have mechanical brakes? That would be my next question. Quan says he checked the website and doesn't see Madjax Lux headlight kit. Can we add that, please? Madjax Drive 2 golf cart fits 2017 and up. Thank you, Quan. That's what I want. I want things like that in the comments, and because Golf Cart Garage has a record of that, and we will check into that. And if we don't have it, we'll figure out why, and we'll get it on the website. So that's exactly what I need. Thank you. Jimmy Stokely on Facebook. What's up, Jimmy Stokely? Sunny in 87. Let's see. Russell says all batteries show 8 volts plus. When I put a load on the batteries, they will drop down till about 6.3 or 6.4. That sounds normal too, Russell. That's not bad. I mean, when you got a load on them, that's not a bad drop. So I think we're going to eliminate. I think we just eliminated your batteries as being the issue, unless if you still think it's your batteries, then you might be a good candidate for an actual discharge test where they can give you a very good idea of your battery pack as a whole. Any golf cart shop would be able to run a discharge test on your pack, and they'll explain to you how the numbers work. You know, but it comes back in minutes. If your battery pack doesn't go over 30 minutes on a discharge test, then you definitely have a battery dropping out. You know, and it could drop out in 30 seconds, or it could drop out in 30 minutes of use, like what you were saying. You take off and it's fine, and then all of a sudden it drops out. Something drops out, like the brakes are being put on. So that could be a battery. If you're not sure about your batteries, I mean, if you're sure about your batteries, then you could be looking at something else. You could be looking at a controller issue, because the symptoms that you are describing would, in a regular golf cart, in a club car, an EZGO or a Yamaha, or even some other brands, could either be bad battery or controller issue, because they feel exactly the same when they shut down. let's see, Randy says, maybe it would be cool if while you explain what these parts are, you show us the actual part so we dummies can see what we're looking for. That's a good idea, Randy. I can do that. I do that sometimes, but I never know what I got to pull out. I mean, I got shelves full of stuff over there, you know, golf cart stuff. I never know what kind of live questions I'm going to get, so it's not like I can get set up for, you know, for a live question because I don't know what they're going to ask me. Sometimes when in the regular scheduled questions, if it's something that I want to use as a reference, I do bring parts out and show them. But yeah, that's a good idea. I'll get some of the stuff that's a recurring. I wonder if I have an MCOR over there or a V-Glide. I think I probably do. I might need to dig those up because those come up all the time. So yes, I'll look into that. Okay, number 10. Have an electric 36-volt EZGO. I believe it's 2008 or so. My problem is slow speed when in forward from a dead start. It will go slow, like the battery is low. If I'm rolling in reverse and flip the switch to forward while rolling, the cart will almost do a wheelie and take off fast and forward like it used to. I have brand new batteries. I replaced the speed sensor and solenoid to no avail. That's, I'll tell you this. On an EZGO, I have seen the ITS cause that issue. I've seen the ITS cause erratic acceleration. Like you'd get on it and you turn the key on and forward, touch the accelerator pedal, and the car like lunges forward. You know, just lunges forward and then might start to run normal. The ITS is EZGO's form of potentiometer that they use. And so it is responsible for sending the smooth signal, for the accelerating smooth signal to the controller, and then the controller tells the motor what to do. So if the ITS is sending crazy signal to the controller's putting out crazy signal to the motor, so it can cause that issue. Russell says it does not have electric brake. Okay, so that means that what you're feeling, like you put the brakes on, is your regenerative braking is actually slowing you down. So what that tells me is that your solenoid is probably dropping out. You're going along, everything's fine, and if your solenoid drops out, you could simulate that by just turning the key off. Like you get going on any golf cart, any region golf cart. Just be going along wide open or whatever, and just turn the key off. And your cart will, whoa, and the region will kick in, and you feel like it put the brakes on, but it's just the regenerative braking. So it sounds to me like your solenoid is dropping out, and I'm sure that your Tumberland eMerge has a run tow switch under the seat, and what that tells me is that you have the type of electrical system where the controller is involved in the solenoid activation and the solenoid deactivation circuit. The controller is actually involved in that same circuit, so you could have a controller issue. Now that's just my opinion on what you're saying. Now the electrical system is basically the same, but I don't have a lot of experience directly with Tumberlands except for maybe battery jobs or something like that. Don't know if I ever had to repair one or not. Let's see, Randy says, yeah, just simple stuff like regulators, solenoids, OBC. Yeah, I've got all that. I do, Randy, and I'll do that. I'll start making a point I'll fill up my desk here on each side of my computer with all kinds of things that I think might come up, and that way I can just grab one for a reference, you know, and say, this is an OBC, or this is a solenoid, this is what I mean by that. So yeah, that's a good idea. Thank you. Hey, Craig, you can't run yet. Did you hear what I said earlier? You're going to miss it. You can't go, man. Go on. It does have a Curtis controller, is what Russell says. Yeah, it could be the controller, Russell, because it is involved in the circuit for you to activate your solenoid on your car. Okay, let's see. Can I replace one of the 6 batteries? It was the title of this episode, and I think we covered that. You can replace one batteries of the 6. You know, that's in the title of this episode. But is it recommended? No, it's not really recommended, especially if the other ones are, if the other ones have age to them, or or if they're down. I don't have any new tips today, Kurt. We kind of changed the tip thing to the to the let's see thing. So here goes the let's see segment of this episode. Normally we do let's see some carts, but today we're going to do let's see some fabrication. And this week's let's see is some fabrication that Craig and his neighbor had done. So you ready? Here we go. Bam! This is a tow hitch that he and his neighbor got together and welded up, and it is a fabricated tow hitch for an EZGO RXV. And I thought it was good. I thought it was very good. I thought it was a good job. Everything looks cool. The fit and finish is good. You can see right here what it looks like from the top. And you could drill that hole as big as you needed to put a ball on there, whatever. And there it is there. There's the underside of it, and there it is mounted up under the cart. I thought it was good. Anybody have any, just remember, that I will feature not just carts, I will feature fabricated parts also. So if you've got some fabricated parts that you are proud of, solar panels, whatever it is, whatever it may be, send them to me. 00timfreeman@gmail.com, and we will make sure we get them on here. I thought it was a good job. I thought it was a good tow hitch. Everybody needs a good tow hitch on their cart, if you ask me. I mean, the golf cart manufacturers probably wouldn't like me saying that, but I use my cart for work, so sometimes I got to pull something. I mean, I got to pull trees and limbs. And let's see, D-Max. Hey Tim, how you doing? Can I use a 95 motor and put it in a 2008 Villager? Is the 95 a series motor, and is the 2008 Villager a series motor? Is the question. If the 2008 Villager has a run tow switch and the 95 cart that came out of does not, then the answer is no. Probably couldn't do it anyway. They both need to be series in order for you to be able to do that and it work. You need to both be series carts. Yeah. Oh, that's right, Quan. You sent me pictures of yours too. Did I show that on the show, or did I just talk about it? I can't remember. Because I still have those pictures, I'm sure, but I could show those if I didn't. I don't remember if I showed those on the show or not. I don't think I did. But yeah, that was pretty good what you had done too. I mean, that was. I'll have to go back through my email. Oh, I just talked about it. Okay. I'll go find those pictures and I'll put them in my stash of pictures, and so I don't have a lot, so please send me pictures of your carts, because I'm running. I thought I would have gotten more pictures by now. I'm getting some pictures and some fabrication pictures and some cart pictures, but I need more. So everybody send me a picture of your cart if you haven't already. Could help out other Drive 2 owners. Yeah, that's right. I remember now. Let me run social again. Just remember to follow us on Facebook and YouTube, but also you can follow us on the social if you would like. We're all over the place nowadays. Okay, and let me run the coupon code. You can do the coupon at golfcartgarage.com. If you plug in, you get 5% off at golfcartgarage.com if you use the coupon code TIM12. 𝗪12. This code expires on July 28th, so that's only got about 3 more days on this particular code. Get 5 point. I'll get another one, you know, but this one expires on the 28th. So get your 5% off. That is going to be about it. And don't forget to come Thursday, because we are giving a hat away Thursday. Did you give it? You see me? Did you hear that, Gene? We're giving a hat away Thursday. We're going to do the swag bag giveaway on Thursday, this Thursday, next episode, not tomorrow, but the next one. So y'all be sure and come back, because you will be entered. Everybody that makes a comment in the chat will be entered in the drawing, and I'll announce it at the end of the show. I will call you personally and ask you some top secret questions about yourself, so just to verify your identity, and then we will get that out. So we are giving a hat away on Thursday. I know I said something about my wife having to help me on Tuesdays. Things changed. Now it's going to be this Thursday is when we're going to give the hat away. So everybody come back for that on Thursday. Randy Rizzo, thanks, Tim. Have a good day. Yeah, Quan, you haven't won yet, so definitely put it in there. Try again Thursday. I'm late getting here. I won't give the hat away until later on in the episode, so even if you're a little late, don't worry about it. You just got to come in and you got to say something. You got to type something, and then you'll automatically be entered when you type something. So don't worry about it if you're a little late. Okay, yes, Chris Benzer, is there a way to test a controller? Yes, you can test the output, but if you've already, I think it's M minus and B minus, and hit your on your controller voltmeter on M minus and B minus. But the bottom line is you already tested your motor, so you know your motor's good, so you know there's nothing coming out of your controller. So that's what I'm saying. But yeah, it's M minus and B minus, and check for output as you depress the pedal. Let me see if I can verify that here. Connect probe to M minus terminal. Connect probe to B plus. No, I'm sorry. Scratch that. M minus and B plus. The reading should be 0 volts, and slowly depress the pedal, and it should increase to full battery pack voltage. But we know that that's not happening because you tested your motor. If that was happening, your motor would be working. I had a question in case you didn't see it. Michael, try again Thursday. Oh, Michael had a question. Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah, the screen scrolls by fast, guys, so sometimes I miss it because I'm talking about something else. What I need to do is, we've talked about it already, I probably need to cut down on the regularly scheduled questions so I can stay up with the people in the live, because I don't like missing your question either. I have a 2022 48-volt lithium manufactured by a local company here in Georgia called Volt. The cart doesn't slow after removing my foot from the pedal, and would like to understand what might be happening. You mean it doesn't have any regenerative braking properties, is what you're saying? Because most cars, especially brand new lithium cars, 2022, I don't know anything about the Volt actual, but I guarantee you that it's got regenerative braking. So right now it must be set for none. And it just, you know, it's freewheeling, because when you let off the gas pedal, the accelerator pedal, you should feel a slowdown. So that would be my guess, is ask the local company if that is a problem with your cart, or is it something that can be adjusted, and it probably can. Or the region, okay, Michael Reynolds says correct, seems like it recently started. Well, yeah, it could be. Ask them, is your regenerative braking programmable? Is it adjustable? And see what they say. Okay, guys, that is going to be it. Let me make sure that I'm clear over here. Yep, I'm clear over there, and I'm clear over here. Okay, cool. Thank everybody for coming. Remember to come back Thursday. When you get your notifications, come back Thursday, 12 noon Central Time, because we are going to do a hat giveaway. All right, we're going to do that Thursday. So I will see everybody then. Garage is now closed.